Over the Christmas period, I end up feeling extremely guilty, and I'm sure you do too. Because what happens is I sit down for 2 minutes and I think, you know what, I'm going to be productive today. I'm going to get something done. Sit down for 2 minutes and then suddenly I look up, it's 40 minutes later. I've been sucked into my phone the entire time. I've eaten way more sweets than I planned to, and I've, played on the Xbox or watched Netflix longer than I meant to. And the reason why you should care about this if you run a business, because it's very important and it's psychology that's dragging you in to do these things. So the same reason you can't stop scrolling on the phone is the same reason people don't buy your service or whatever you're selling or your product. It's the same brain and the same bit of psychology that are making both of these decisions. So if you think about it, and if you understand what creates a bad habit, you understand what creates, a yes in marketing, you understand what creates a conversion as well. So here's a simple pattern of bad habits. Most bad habits stick when they do three different things. And those three different things are: one, when they solve a problem, even a small one. So if you think about scrolling on your phone, what is that solving? It might be solving boredom, stress, tiredness, feeling low, right? You just need a bit of an escape. Second, it's quick and easy to scroll on your phone or to eat the sweets. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to plan. You don't have to try hard. Third, it's right there as well. Your phone is always basically on you. The sweets at Christmas or the cookies or the biscuits are always around, right? The TV is mostly always on if your family are watching the TV all the time. It's easy to reach, it's easy to start, and it's always available as well. That's why scrolling wins over you being productive and getting things done at Christmas. That's why junk food wins, and that's why the games win as well, whether you're playing games or watching Netflix. And this is exactly where most smaller businesses go wrong. Larger businesses, they know all of this. Netflix, they know exactly what thumbnails to show you because they've hired so many different decision scientists and behavioral scientists. They know what to show you to draw you in. Instagram, it knows exactly what type of subjects you like to watch or what you will find most compelling, and will keep you on the platform that way. And that is because they have so many of these highly intelligent people who are working on trying to keep your attention, right? But smaller businesses actually haven't quite got this formula down. They make the opposite mistake, essentially. They make a good choice feel like hard work. So for instance, I was working with a client recently. They were trying to get more people to click through this link on an email campaign that they were sending out. And they just couldn't work it out. But when I read the email campaign, it broke all of the rules of setting up a habit. It had too many steps in it. It had too much information, too long. It was just like complex, dense information that was sending out in this email. It had really confusing wording. It had too many decisions for the person to take. It had lots of ifs and buts in there. Too many things that weren't straightforward. And too much waiting as well. When the person actually clicked the link to go through to the site, rather than automatically logging in the person, they had to log themselves in. The person who was reading the email had to log themselves in, right? And so people don't think this is a bad offer. They think, you know what, this email is too long, it's too big. I think I'll just do it later. The problem is, as we know with humans, is that later actually means never, right? That's what we do. We like to procrastinate on things, and then we always have more and more priorities coming in that take our attention rather than the thing we should be doing. So here's the lesson for your marketing. If you want more people to buy or sign up or message you, you've got to make the next step feel quick, easy, and obvious as well. Let me make that real, okay? So instead of a page that feels like homework, you've got to make it simple. Instead of a book a call with 10 fields, if you're doing a business which takes calls, right? Make it 2 fields instead that the person's got to fill out. Instead of start your journey with vague words, tell them exactly what happens next. Tell them how long it's going to take. You can even say, and there's good research in this actually, that if you put how long an article is going to take to read, you'll get more people reading that article. Because we like to know what investment of time it's going to take, right? So instead of we offer a range of solutions, I've heard a lot of different businesses say this, say exactly what problem you fix and how fast they will see the result there. Now, a useful word here is friction. Friction means the annoying effort that makes people stop, right? So friction is too many clicks, too many form fields, too many options, too much text, too much uncertainty, and your job is to remove friction. If you think about picking up your phone to scroll on Instagram, you've literally got to press 2 buttons before you're sucked into the world of social media, right? And suddenly you're looking at, I don't know, suddenly you're looking at capybaras or rabbits on Instagram, right? And you're sucked down this rabbit hole. It didn't take you long to get there. It was very easy, in fact. So easy that half the time you don't actually even consciously know that you're going on Instagram or you're going on Facebook or that your hand is in the cookie jar, right? Because there's no friction there. And that's a useful lesson for your business. A second useful idea is first win. First win means the first small result that they get, something that makes them think, okay, this works. And that gets you in the position of an authority. So try and focus on getting your clients or your customers the first win as quickly as possible so it builds up a little bit of momentum. We are momentum machines. Essentially, we want to make sure that the energy we've spent is helping us move in the right direction. So have a think about what your service is, what you're offering, what your product is. What problem can you solve fast? Even if it's something small, some sort of clarity, some bit of relief, something that saves a bit of time, something that saves a bit of stress. What can you do that is going to essentially give them that quick win? Now, because this is Christmas, this matters even more. People are tired, people are full, people are distracted. I'm distracted, right? I'm too busy sitting on my couch eating cookies. People are spending money, but they're not in the mood to figure things out. Things over Christmas period, most businesses have this complete lull in sales straight after Christmas because people just don't want to know. And they don't want to know because they're just not in the mood to figure things out, to work out what their problems are. They want to procrastinate into the future. So the business that wins right now is the one that makes the next step feel really easy for the customer. And this is where it gets dangerous because some marketers learn quick and easy sells and then they end up starting lying. I only have to scroll on YouTube for 2-3 minutes before I will see all these gurus, all these business gurus all over YouTube saying, follow my 3-step system and you'll be a millionaire in 60 to 90 days. If you're broke, it's your fault. Everything is within your power. People that buy that because it feels good and simple, but it's not honest, right? If it was honest, every single person would be walking around with easy to run business, but business is hard. You probably know this because you're watching this channel right now and you know, you're probably a little bit experienced. If you're looking into conversion stuff, you probably know a little bit about how things work. So you've always got to keep your integrity when it comes to, trying to get people over the line and things like this. You can't overpromise. Anyone can sell if they promise the world. The real skill is actually getting a great result without lying, without manipulating, and without making people feel small as well. So a quick integrity check. If you removed the hype, would your offer still be fair? If you delivered exactly what you promised, would the customer feel respected? And would you be comfortable if your mum saw the advert, whatever you're advertising, right? Could you go home and look your mum in the face after she's just seen that advert and say, you know what, I did a good day of business? So if those answers, when you answer those questions out loud, if they feel shaky, they need to fix the message. The takeaway is simple. People choose what feels easiest in the moment. You got to make your marketing a little bit easier to understand, easier to start, easier to follow. Give them a first quick win and be honest about what it takes as well. And that is behavioral science, really. Behavioral science means how people really act in real life, not what they say or how they, pretend that they act, how they actually act as well. And that's the psychology behind it. If you want to learn some of the biggest persuasion mistakes most businesses actually make in their business from businesses I've consulted with that I'm sure you're making as well, click on the video in this description. You see what I did there? I gave you a clear next step for you to take. Take it easy and enjoy your holiday period.